Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Here in just a bit, I am off to check out the new movie Fast X, the 10th installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. I cannot believe that this is the 10th installment of the Fast and Furious franchise. Okay, so full disclaimer here, story time, okay? Before this movie, I've only seen the first three films, okay? I saw the first and the second one at the drive-in back in the day when they came out. The third one popped up on something, and I'm like, what do you know? Fast and the Furious 3, Tokyo Drift, let's check this out. I never got into where the Fast and Furious franchise went from there on out. I was just kind of like, it was car stuff. Not necessarily my thing, but I can definitely see how others really enjoy this franchise, just not for me. Okay, so fast forward years, and here we are. The 10th installment is coming out, and I'm like, okay, well, I've got to go do a review on this, right? This is a big deal, but I can't just go into this blind. I've got to watch 4 through 9 of the series so I can understand it. And I'll tell you what, guys, the craziest thing happened. I fell in love with this franchise. I've never seen a film franchise hit their stride at the 4th film before, but goddamn if they didn't do it. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life, but I really love these movies. And so the other day, finally wiping out the clean slate, seeing all of the films, I was starting to notice something about these movies. Something that made me really go, oh, I see why I like these so much. These films are basically the Saints Row of movies. Like, alright, so like, the Saints Row video game is like the Grand Theft Auto clone, but it's completely over the top and crazy, and each installment of the game has topped each other. Well, okay, not so much for this reboot thing that happened not too long ago, but 1 through 4 tried to top each other each time in just craziness of the game. And that is the exact same thing with this film franchise. Every movie has tried to jump the shark even more. They just keep getting a bigger shark with each movie. Jesus Christ, the last movie, they went to space. They did it. They pulled a leprechaun, man. They went to space and came back, and there is still more story to be told. Like I've said before, to the best of my knowledge, the only film franchise that has gone to space and has come back was Leprechaun. And now, apparently, the Fast and the Furious. Alright, well, so it's time for me to get out the door. I need to go see this movie, man. I am revved up. I am all sorts of ready, except I gotta do something real quick. I've got to, get ready, get pumped up for the Fast and Furious just the way I know how. So here we go. All right. Okay. Time to get ready. Time to go see the family! Welcome back. Just getting home, and wow, guys, that was something else. That movie It wasn't a movie, guys. That was an amusement park ride. I had a smile on my face from beginning to the end of this movie. I was laughing. I was groaning to myself like, oh my God. It was a blast. It was so much fun to be in an audience of people that were there for the same thing. Everyone seemed to be having a great time. Okay, so like I like to do in my videos, I'm going to do the negatives and then move into the positives. Not a lot of negatives because, I mean, come on, guys. This is the 10th movie in a very popular franchise. There are extremely dedicated fans. They are going to go see this movie. The movie's going to make a lot of money. It's going to do just fine. Don't worry about it because people love these. It has a huge fan base and it doesn't matter. They will be there in droves to check out their superheroes because I'm sorry, that's what this is. This is superhero movies for car folk. Okay, folks who love cars, these are their superheroes. I mean, come on, that's what they use. Like, and all of the movies, it's the same thing. They're like kind of normal people outside of the cars, and then they get into them, and then they can do like kung fu fighting or something with their cars. It's crazy. Yes, this is superhero films for car people. That's what they are. And that's awesome. That's great. It doesn't matter. If you love these movies, cool, that's awesome. Love these movies because they're fun. To quote my buddies over at 3B Video, this film is popcorn as fuck. Seriously, don't take this movie serious at all. Okay, negatives. This movie is not grounded in reality. The laws of physics do not apply in this film. There is tons of CGI explosion, tons of crazy drive effects, stuff that you're just like, no normal human being could possibly survive that. That's what this movie is. If you can't handle that, if you can't handle movies that just throw the laws of physics out the window and gives them the finger, you are not going to like this movie. Plain and simple. Don't go see it. If you're someone who goes, I don't give a shit. I like to see cars get launched into space. Yeah, in the previous film, they launch a Pontiac Fiero into space. The biggest piece of shit car on the planet, and they launched it into space. That's what you can expect from these movies. It's an amusement park ride. You pay the fare for the ticket, you hop on the ride, you go wee for a couple of hours, and that's it. And if you don't get that, then these movies aren't for you. Okay, plain and simple. It's cool, and that's okay. If you don't like this kind of thing, that's all right. But for the rest of us, these movies are a ton of fun, and that this movie is the exact same thing. It totally delivers on anything and everything the fans of this franchise have come to love. In the intro of this, I said that this is a film that they keep jumping the shark, except the shark's getting bigger. It was like they did that with every action sequence in this film. They weren't just trying to top the big action sequence of the previous film. They were trying to do that with the first action sequence, and then the next action sequence in this movie was better than that one. They just keep topping and topping and topping, and then the film just goes bonkers in the end. And guys, let me tell you, okay, this is the beginning of a trilogy from what I understand. This movie does end on a cliffhanger. There are going to be more, so just wait. Don't worry. Dom and the family are coming back. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. Okay, I don't have anything else for you. I think this movie is a solid film. If this is something that you love, you are gonna go see this movie. Doesn't matter what my opinion is on it whatsoever. But that's what makes this review fun. It really doesn't matter what I say. People are gonna go see this movie regardless. So yeah, get out there, check this film out. If you want to pay the admission for the ticket and take this freaking roller coaster ride, by God, you should do it. Okay, guys. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you could do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.